Hello viewers, hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I'm going to create the search API in the Spring Boot application. At the begin, I'm going to update the update task API. In the previous part, I forgot to add the few things. Let's navigate to the IntelliJ IDE. You can see here the update task endpoint. Let's go to the admin service impl. Inside this method, I'm going to create the object of the optional user, and it will be an optional user. And here I'm going to call the query from the user repository, that is a find by ID. Inside the argument, we need to pass here the user ID that we will get from the task DTO, that is a task DTO dot get employee ID. After getting the optional user from the database, inside the if, I'm going to add here the and we have to check here the optional user. If it's present, then we have to set here the existing task dot set user, and it will be a optional user dot get. Let me rerun the Spring Boot application. Let's navigate to the VS Code, and I'm going to make few changes in the update task component. So first of all, let me duplicate this line in the update task component.ts inside the constructor. You can see here. So the name of the input, that is a task status. Let's go to the update task component.html. Let me duplicate the drop down input. Let me paste. After this, label of the drop down, that is a select the task status. Form control name, let me copy this, and we have to give here the task status with the form control name. Same for the name. Let's go to update task component.ts. Let me duplicate this line and name of the variable, that is a list of task status. Copy the task status from the enum of the task status in Spring Boot application. So you can see the statuses. Let me copy these. Let me paste inside this array, and it will be a type of a string. Now you can see the array of the list of task status that we have: pending, in progress, completed, deferred, and the cancelled. Let me copy the variable name of the array. Let's go to update task component.html. Let me keep to the for loop, and we have to get the status one by one from the loop. We have to give the status to the value and the interpolation and this input for the task status. So let me update the form control name in the mat error tag. Let's navigate to the browser. Click on this icon, and it will navigate us to the update task page. You can see here the drop down for the task status. For now it's cancelled. I'm going to update the task status like pending, and I want to assign this task to this employee. Let's click on this update task button. As you can see the notification, that is a task updated successfully. The status of the task we got, that is a pending, and the employee name is also changed. So these are the few things that I forgot to add in the previous part. Now I'm going to create an API to search the task by title in the Spring Boot application. Let's navigate to the IntelliJ IDE. You can see here the admin service. Let me duplicate this line. Name of the method, that is a search task by title. In the argument, it will get a title, that is a type of a string, and it will return a list of task DTO. Let's go to admin service impl. Let me implement the method, that is a search task by title. Inside this method, I'm going to call the query from the task repository, that is a find all by title containing. In the argument of this query, I'm going to pass here the title that we are getting in the argument of the method. Let me create this query in the task repository, and it will return list of task entities. After getting the list of tasks from the database, I'm going to add here the loop, or it will be a dot stream dot sorted. Inside this, I'm going to write here the logic latest task on the top of the list. So it will be a comparator dot comparing. So let me give here the task entity, and second we have to give the get due date, and it will be a dot reversed dot map. Inside this, I'm going to give here the task entity, and second we have a method, that is a get task DTO. This method is nothing, just a conversion of the entity to the DTO, and it will be a dot collect, that is a collectors dot to list. Let's go to admin controller, and here I'm going to create a method to call the method from the admin service. So it will be a public response entity. We can expect a list of a task DTO. So let me add here the task DTO. Name of the method, that is a search task. we have to get the title from the URL. So let me add here the notation that is @path variable, data type of the variable that is a string, and name of the variable that is a title. Let me return here the response entity dot okay. Inside this, I'm going to call the method from the admin service that is a search task by title, and we have to give here the title in the argument on the top. I'm going to add here the annotation that is a @get mapping, and the URL of this endpoint that is a /tasks/search/title. Let's run the Spring Boot application. As you can see, we got an error. No property found for the task. The spelling of the find is not correct. Let me check. Okay, so it will be a find instead of FIN. Let's go to the task repository. Let me update the query. Let's rerun the application. As you can see, the Spring Boot application started successfully. Let's go to the Postman and let's test the API. Let me update the URL that is a /API/admin/task/search/title. I'm going to add here product mapping. It will be a get. Let's navigate to the browser. Let me get the JWT token of the admin from the local storage. Let's go back to Postman. Click on the authorization tab. Select the barrier token from the drop down, and I'm going to add here the token of the logged in admin. Let's click on this send button. As you can see, the status we got 200 okay, but in the body we are getting here an empty array. Let's go to the MySQL workbench. Let me refresh the task table. You can see here the title that is a complete project report. Let me update the title in the Postman that is a project instead of product. Let's click on the send button. As you can see, the status that is a 200 okay, and inside the body we are getting here the result in the response of the API. Let me update the title again like report. Let's click on the send button, and you can see we are getting here the task. Let me change the title again like R. Let's click on the send button, and you can see here we are getting the task. So that's all for now from my side. If you have any confusion, you can do comment. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.